everyone, welcome back to our channel Medical Coders Coaching World. Here is your tutor Bhuma Devi Chandrasekharan from Abu Dhabi. Today we are going to see about modifiers part 3. Before I uploaded modifier part 1 and part 2. Before you are watching this video, watch that video, then only you can understand what is modifiers, what is the use of the modifier. I gave the description, I have the link in the description box. Please go and find that link. Okay, now we are going to see modifiers part 3, which means modifier 63. From modifier 63 we are going to see. Okay, modifier 63. What is the use of modifier 63? Procedures performed on infant less than 4 kg. Less than 4 kg means a newborn baby, right? The newborn baby will be 3.5 to 4, like that only the newborn baby's weight. So newborn babies, any procedures performed on the newborn babies that are less than 4 kg babies, then these modifiers can be used. These modifiers can be used only with the code range 2005 to 69990. This is the code range this modifier can be used, and this modifier should not be appended with E&M, radiology and pathology laboratory codes, anesthesia and medicine codes. Okay, if you are using modifier 63, then the payer will understand this modifier, the procedures is performed under the for the infant under 4 kgs, less than 4 kgs, like that. And modifier 66 is for surgical team. Surgical team means more than 2 surgeons. If there is more than 2 surgeons for any one surgery, then it will be a surgical team. So to indicate that it is the surgery is performed with surgical team, then you have to use modifier 66 to with the surgery codes. And modifier 80 is for assistant surgeon. Any surgeon is helping to the main surgeon in the surgery, then we have to use modifier 80 to the code. Modifier 81 is for minimum assistant surgeon. For surgery there will be 2 surgeons, surgeon and assistant surgeon, but in this minimum assistant surgeon, the minimum assistant surgeon will be active only to the part of the procedure. Half of the procedure he or she will be active, and remaining half of the procedure is done by the surgeon. Then we have to use minimum assistant surgeon, modifier 81 to the code. Then modifier 82, assistant surgeon when qualified resident surgeon is not available. If the surgeon is not available, then the assistant surgeon is doing all the surgery, all the part of the surgery, then we have to use modifier 82. And modifier 90, reference outside laboratory. Test is performed by third party, which means any reference is given to the private laboratory outside laboratory, which means the hospital, inside the hospital laboratory, it's not the test is not done inside the hospital laboratory, it is done by the outside persons, outside laboratory, private laboratory means, then we have to use modifier 90 to the code. And modifier 91, repeat clinical diagnostic lab test more than once in a same day. If the lab test is performed more than once in the same day, then we have to use modifier 91. And modifier 92 is for alternative lab platform testing, which means it is performed with the lab test is performed with the portable kit. Modifier 95 is for synchronous telemedicine service rendered via real-time audio and video telecommunication system, AV communication used during the procedure, which means a televideo, which means the video communication is done during the procedure means, then we have to use modifier 95 with the code. For any major surgeries, the surgeons will be in the abroad and the surgery will be done in the patient's native. By that time the surgeons will ask help or any suggestions from the abroad doctors. So then that time modifier 95 is used. Modifier 96 is for rehabilitative services, which means to make the patient to get use of some treatments. And modifier 97 is for rehabilitative services. Rehabilitative services means if the drug addiction patient, then we have to get the patient out of that addiction, right? So like that, any procedures done means we have to use modifier 97 for the code. And modifier 99 is for multiple procedures. If there is, we have to use any situations come like we have to use more than 2 modifiers in a same day, then we have to use modifier 99, which means there is multiple procedures done and we have to use multiple modifiers. So we are, instead of using multiple modifier, we are using only one modifier, modifier 99. And modifier 76, repeat procedure by the same physician. Multiple diagnostic procedures on the same date, which means any more than 1 or 2 multiple diagnostic procedures in the same day done means then we have to give the modifier 76 to the code, which it prevents the claim denials. And modifier 77, repeat procedure by another physician. Different physician performs the second procedure. The primary procedure was done by one physician and the second procedures was done by the follow-up or something else is done by the second physician means we have to give modifier 76. If the same physician is doing both the primary procedure and the follow-up care also done by the same physician, then we have to give modifier 76. If it is done by the different physician, then we have to give modifier 77 to the code. Modifier 78 is for unplanned return to the OR. OR means operating room by the same physician during the post-operative period. Second operations during the post-operative period due to complications of initial operation. If there is any complications due to initial operations, then we have to return to the operating room to treat the complications. That is done by same physician who did the primary operation means then we have to use modifier 78 with the code. And unrelated procedure or services by the same physician during the post-operative period means then modifier 79. Second operation during the post-operative period, but it is unrelated to the initial procedure. The second in the post-operative period itself, the another operation is done by the same physician, but it is not related to the initial procedure means then we have to give modifier 79 to the code. And these are the anesthesia codes, CPT codes, which anesthesia also included in the CPT, but CPT codes is different, anesthesia codes is different. Modifier P1 is for normal healthy patient, P2 is for mild systemic disease patient, and modifier P3 the patient with severe systemic disease, P4 severe systemic disease that is constant threat to the life of the patient, and P5 morbidant patient who is not expected to survive without the operation, P6 brain dead patient whose organ is removed for donor purpose. These are the anesthesia modifiers which can be only used with the anesthesia codes. So these are the CPT modifiers. CPT modifier we covered the CPT modifiers part 1, part 2 and part 3, and HEPEX also the modifiers is there, which is also similar to CPT only. In when we are going for HEPEX, then I will cover that modifiers too. If you have any doubt in CPT modifiers, yes, you can personally message me through the Instagram or email. Thank you for your support. Keep watching our channel. Don't forget to like, comment and share. Subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for our updates.